Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we sift through the latest information to bring you the most important nuggets of knowledge and insight. Today, we're diving into a fascinating stack of new sources all about the rapid evolution of technology. We're talking AI trying to organize your life, the latest in gaming gadgets, and really what it all means for you.
Yeah, the mission here is to cut through the noise, definitely uncover some surprising facts, and just help you understand the bigger picture, how tech is shaping our daily lives and, well, beyond. We've got quite a bit to unpack today.
Okay, let's unpack it then. We'll kick things off by getting really personal with AI. We'll look at how it's showing up on our devices, how it's affecting the info we see. Then we'll kind of zoom out, explore the bigger debates around AI regulation, industry shifts, and finally we'll hit some of the coolest new innovations in gaming and other gadgets coming out. Sound good?
Sounds great. Let's jump in.
All right, so first up, AI getting, well, undeniably pervasive. Amazon just bought a company called Bee. They make this device, it's basically like a Fitbit, but for your conversations. Apparently it listens to everything you say. That immediately sparks questions, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Yeah.
What's really striking about this Bee device, and it's priced at, what, $49.99 is its core function, it transcribes not just your conversations, but also the ones happening around you.
Wow.
Yeah. And from all that audio, it generates daily summaries, reminders, even suggestions inside its app. And to make those insights smarter, quote unquote, it can tap into your emails, contacts, location, photos, calendar, basically creating this searchable, AI-driven history of your life.
Okay, so on one hand, maybe super convenient for staying organized,
Right.
but on the other, that's a lot of data collection.
Yeah.
I know my colleague Victoria Song actually tried it out, and she found it sometimes confused, like real chats with background noise TV shows, TikToks playing nearby, which, is a classic AI quirk. But if it's getting confused by a sitcom, how reliable are those AI insights really?
Yeah.
Or that searchable history?
That's a crucial point, yeah. Accuracy.
Okay.
And it ties right into privacy. An Amazon spokesperson did say they care deeply about privacy and security. They mentioned their policy against selling customer info and that they plan to give users even greater control later on.
Okay.
But the fundamental design, like you said, is built to collect everything. It forces this trade-off, doesn't it? Constant passive surveillance versus, hyper-personal convenience. Can a policy truly fix a device designed to listen all the time? That's the real tension here.
And it's not just Amazon, right?
Yeah.
We're seeing this surge in AI wearables.
Yeah.
Like nothing's new. CMF Watch 3 Pro smartwatch.
Yeah.
It's got fully integrated ChatGPT now. You can ask it stuff, set reminders, record voice notes, get auto transcriptions, all right, from your wrist. Most watches need a separate app for that, usually.
It's definitely a step up for integration, no question. But we should remember, previous attempts at these highly integrated AI wearables, think the Rabbit R1, the Humane AI pin, they've been pretty widely described as, well, utter failures in how they work.
Right, those didn't land well at all.
Exactly. So it suggests it's a really challenging path for these devices. It's not just about the cool concept. The tech has to actually deliver without messing up usability or, like you mentioned, basic accuracy.
Okay, so while AI is listening and getting really personal, it's also reshaping the information we see. Apple Intelligence, for instance, is bringing back news summaries in iOS 26. And you might remember this feature caused some pretty big headaches earlier this year.
Oh, indeed. Apple actually turned that summary feature off back in January. Remember when it was caught spewing fake BBC headlines?
Yeah, that was not good.
Not good at all. So it seems they learned something. With iOS 26 Beta 4, it's coming back, but with key updates. Now you can opt in or opt out per app. That's important. And the AI summaries. They'll be italicized with a clear note, summarized by Apple Intelligence. Plus, you can tap the summary to see the original notifications. That's a step towards transparency. Apple says they'll watch it closely, offer a way to report issues.
That transparency is definitely welcome, but it makes you wonder, right? What does this bigger trend of AI summaries mean for how we actually get our news? There's a new Pew Research study looking at Google's AI overviews those summaries at the top of search results. And the findings, well, they're kind of a bombshell for publishers.
Yeah, this connects to the bigger picture of how we consume information now. The study basically shows that when one of those AI overviews pops up, users are way less likely to click on the traditional search links. It drops from about 15% click-through when there's no summary down to just 8% when there is one.
Only 8%? Wow.
Yeah, and get this. Only a tiny 1% of users click on links inside the AI summary itself. So it suggests that nearly 2/3 of people just get what they need from that summary, and then they either bounce to another site or just close Google search completely.
So this isn't just publishers losing a few clicks here and there. It
Yeah.
feels like a fundamental shift. Convenience kind of winning out over digging into the original source.
Exactly.
And publishers are definitely feeling it. Some reports are calling it AI Armageddon because traffic is just plummeting. Meanwhile, Google's apparently trying to make deals, right?
Right.
Pursuing AI licensing agreements with around 20 national news outlets, kind of like what OpenAI did with Hearst and News Corp.
It's a really tricky balance, isn't it? Getting info fast versus supporting the people who actually create the content. And it bumps right up against copyright issues, too. Well, AI companies train their models on just vast amounts of internet content. And the whole legal idea of fair use in this AI context, it's still totally up in the air. There are lawsuits ongoing. So these licensing deals, you could see them as trying to buy some goodwill, maybe get access, while the actual legal rules are still being figured out.
Makes sense. Okay. On a slightly more positive note for consumers trying to, navigate all this, DuckDuckGo just became the first browser to add an AI image filter. So now you can choose to hide AI-generated images from your searches. That seems pretty direct.
It is, yeah, and it fits DuckDuckGo's whole philosophy: private, useful, and optional AI. The filter uses curated, open-source block lists. It won't catch everything 100%, but they say it will greatly reduce AI images. It's a practical response to, let's face it, the growing challenge of spotting those increasingly convincing AI fakes, which can be super misleading.
Okay, so we've seen AI impacting daily tech, what we hear, what we see. But what about the bigger questions, this sort of philosophical stuff around regulation? Congress in the U.S. isn't really creating a big national framework, are they? And that seems to be leading to some very different paths.
It's striking how different the approaches are, really stark contrast. So in the U.S., the Trump administration just put out its AI action plan, and it prioritizes speed, national security, global dominance, above all else, it seems. It actually recommends pulling back what it calls onerous regulations, and it calls for AI models to be, quote, anti-woke, meaning objective and free from top-down ideological bias.
And they're talking about building data centers on public land, tightening access to U.S. AI tech overseas. It sounds very much like a growth-first strategy, which, some U.S. politicians and AI companies like OpenAI actually argue for. They say strict rules could be disastrous for innovation.
Right. But then you look at Europe, the EU AI Act. It's taken a much stricter risk-based approach. It actually prohibits certain high-risk systems outright, things like social scoring, and it heavily restricts others, demanding a lot of transparency. You saw Meta, for instance, refuse to sign the EU's voluntary code of practice. They called it an overreach. So you really see these global fault lines forming in how to govern AI.
It really raises the question, then, who should regulate AI? Is it just up to national governments? Or does it need to be international? Especially when you think about things like deepfake misinformation. Speaking of impacts and big visions, these regulation debates tie right into what industry leaders are planning. Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, he has a truly bold vision for AI's future.
Bold is one word for it. His vision starts with, get this, 100 million GPUs. Which is just a staggering number. Even he admitted it might be a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
But OpenAI is already on track to pass 1 million GPUs by the end of 2025. So the scaling is aggressive. The goal, faster responses, more powerful AI agents doing complex tasks, smarter voice assistants, the works. And to make it happen, OpenAI agreed to pay Oracle, wait for it, $30 billion a year for data center services.
$30 billion.
A year, including that massive 4.5 gigawatt Stargate project down in Texas.
That's just a monumental commitment. But with that kind of scaling, are there concerns about, the environmental footprint of these giant data centers, or maybe even a bit of a speculative bubble, just racing for GPUs?
Oh, absolutely valid questions. The energy consumption alone is enormous. Critics definitely point to that growth-first mentality, maybe overlooking sustainability or just real-world limits on infrastructure. And yeah, whether this huge expansion is actually profitable long-term or if it's just a race fueled by investor hype, that remains to be seen. It's not just technical feasibility, it's the bigger implications.
And then on the flip side of these grand visions, you have Apple. Their AI efforts seem to be hitting maybe some roadblocks. Despite recent announcements.
That seems to be the case. Insiders are talking about an earthquake inside Apple. It follows the departure of Ruming Pang. He was a really respected leader on their foundation models team. He left for Meta. That, plus other researchers apparently looking elsewhere, suggests a bit of a talent drain.
Hmm.
And there were internal tensions, too, apparently. Pang wanted to open source models, but executives were worried about exposing performance issues. The fact that Apple is even testing outside models for Siri that reportedly bummed out their internal AI team suggests they might be playing catch-up in some ways.
Right. Well, amidst all this competition, the grand visions, the challenges, it's good to remember AI can actually do real good too. Like this tool, Era Explorer, using AI to boost independence for blind and low vision communities.
Yes, Era is fantastic. It's an AI-powered accessibility platform. It gives real-time visual assistance. It connects users with trained human professionals via their smartphone camera, which is already huge.
Yeah.
But then its Access AI feature gives instant, detailed AI descriptions from photos. And what's really smart is Era Verify, where a human agent can step in to confirm or clarify what the AI said. It's this brilliant blend of AI and human support. A real lifeline showing how tech can be built thoughtfully for genuine empowerment.
That's great to hear. Okay, let's shift gears a bit to some tangible tech that might actually be in your hands soon. Foldable phones. They're finally getting serious about durability, it seems.
Yeah, that's a huge step, isn't it? Remember the early concerns? Well, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7, for example, was independently tested by Bureau Veritas. It survived over 500,000 folds.
500,000.
500,000. That's a massive jump from the Z Fold 6, which managed 200,000. Basically, it means you could unfold it like 100 times a day for over 10 years.
Wow. Okay.
It's down to thicker, ultra-thin glass, new adhesive, a better flattening structure in the hinge, stuff like that. It really moves foldables from maybe a novelty to something genuinely practical for everyday use.
Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting, maybe a bit wild. Imagine a gaming handheld that physically transforms itself. We're talking about the 1X Sugar 1. It's a prototype, but it can switch between looking like a Nintendo Switch and looking like a Nintendo DS.
Whoa.
Yeah. 2 OLED touchscreens, gamepads that rotate and remap automatically. Sounds kind of sci-fi.
It does, and the concept is incredibly cool, very innovative. This thing is crowdfunding right now. It offers real multitasking. You can send any app to either screen. However, it is a prototype, and apparently the software feels pretty unfinished.
Okay, the catch.
Yeah. Issues like hard-coded buttons, some Android apps struggling to stretch across both screens properly. So definitely innovative, a cool glimpse of the future maybe, but still very much a work in progress.
And that handheld gaming market is just getting hotter and more crowded, isn't it? There are leaks about a Lenovo Legion Go 2, possibly with better controllers, and OLED screen. Plus, we saw that Infinix GT30 Pro gaming phone making some waves.
Right, the Infinix GT30 Pro. It's priced under $300, which is impressive. And it's aimed squarely at serious mobile gamers. Got features like an all-day full FPS system for sustained performance, active cooling mag charge to stop overheating, built-in tactile shoulder buttons, those GT triggers, even RGB lighting, for the gamer look, plus a whole ecosystem of accessories called GTverse. And this phone, it's actually been an official device for multiple international esports tournaments for 3 years running. That says a lot about its performance.
Definitely punching above its weight then. And for Nintendo fans still hunting, good news. The Switch 2 seems to be seeing more restocks at major retailers, sometimes bundled with new games like Pokemon Legends ZA.
Always good to see stock improving for popular consoles.
Okay, wrapping up our tech deep dive now. Just a quick heads up on something affecting online privacy. ExpressVPN recently fixed a bug in its Windows app. Might be important for a lot of users.
Yeah, this bug, it could have potentially exposed a user's IP address, particularly if they were using remote desktop protocol RDP, for accessing another computer remotely. Now, the company said the likelihood of it actually being exploited in the real world was extremely low.
Okay, good.
But still, it really highlights how crucial it is to keep your VPN software updated. Even small vulnerabilities can have pretty big privacy implications.
Absolutely. And finally, let's talk about those data breach notices. The ones you sometimes get in the mail. If you get one, please take it seriously. I know I just got one the other day, and honestly, my first thought was, ugh, not again. But you can't just ignore them.
That's such a common reaction, but you're right, you have to act. A data breach notice means your personal data was compromised. Maybe in big ones like the Qantas or Steam breaches recently, or that huge theft of 184 million passwords. These notices should tell you what data was leaked and what the company is doing about it. A lot of companies offer free identity theft or credit monitoring for a year or two. Definitely take advantage of that.
Good tip.
And one key thing, legitimate notices usually come via postal mail. If you get emails, texts, or calls about a breach, almost certainly a scam trying to capitalize on it. Be very careful.
Right. Wow. Okay, so from AI listening in and changing our news to phones that fold, gaming gear,
Hmm.
the tech world is just moving at warp speed, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's so clear that while all this innovation offers incredible new features, new conveniences, it also brings these really complex challenges: privacy, regulation, ethics, even just the nature of information itself.
So what does this all mean for you, listening in? I think this deep dive really shows a tech world caught in this profound tension. You've got the incredible allure of innovation on one side and the urgent need for ethical guardrails, for user control on the other. As you navigate all this, maybe think about how much you want technology to listen in. What info are you truly comfortable sharing? And how are these powerful tools being shaped by governments, by corporations, by our own habits? It's not just the gadgets, it's the whole system behind them.
And that really raises the important question, doesn't it? How can we, as users, demand and support tech AI especially that truly serves our interests? Not just convenience, not just the bottom line. How do we make sure these amazing advancements actually empower us instead of subtly chipping away at our autonomy or maybe even our critical thinking?
That's a deep thought to end on. What stands out to you from today's deep dive? That's it for this deep dive. Thank you so much for joining us.